The Lord, I give him all his praise, the glory, the honor, because without him, I could have been doing anything, like it's crazy, I be thinking about it, talking to him throughout the day, like, man, appreciate you, I thank you. Because you feel like you're bigger than the Lord, that's when all that success it go away. You gotta let him know, like, he the reason, like, you having that much success. So I appreciate that from him. And I got my family around, my teammates, great teammates, coaching staff. We just gotta keep it going and let the Lord know he the number one.
There's two pieces of cloth in the tomb. One was crumbled up and tossed to the side. That was the wrap that was around the body of Messiah. There was another piece of the shroud that was folded very neatly and laid on the side. This was the part that was wrapped around his head. You see, when a king was at a table eating, he has a napkin or something to wipe his face. There's so much food that the servants never really knew when is the king done with the meal. And so if the king was done with the meal, he would wipe his face, his hands, and everything, and do what he does, and he would toss the thing to the side and leave. The servants would come and clean everything up because the meal is over. However, if somewhere in the middle of the evening the king was not done eating, but he needed to go relieve himself in the bathroom, he would fold his napkin and put it on the side. And when he left, the servants would come and they would see this folded and realize, we can't touch anything because he's coming back. So we have to sit and wait. He ain't done. He's coming back. And now that's amazing all in itself. We know of the coming back, but there's something. He took that which is around his body and tossed it. Meaning, my body is not coming back. Oh no! But he took what was around his head and folded it, meaning my head is coming back. Why isn't the body coming back? Because you're the body.
Come on, be my baby, come on. 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 Come on, be my baby.
Cross Comics is proud to present on June 24th, 2022, a great big extravaganza! It is Rick Piper's 49th birthday! Oh, one second. That's not the big extravaganza. The big extravaganza is the launch of Canadian Shield 2 and Snowdrift #1. You need to be there. Of course, it's Rick's birthday, but who cares about Rick's birthday? Be there for the launch. Maybe you can make it happen for Rick's birthday. That this funds all that day and more. Make it explode to 5 times, 10 times, 100 times the amount. Be there for the launch of Canadian Shield 2 and Snowdrift #1.
I know this place is where I am. No other place is better than. No matter where I go, I am proud to be Canadian. I am, you know I am. I am Canadian. I'm taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take a new song. You cannot save me, 'cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough as She's never ready when I put her on, is she? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Heroshack. I think I have a co-host named Diana. She's muted, if she doesn't know. Long intro is over. Long intro's over.
I'm here.
No, Terry. Terry,
I'm
it's not a
here.
pre-show. It's a long show introduction. It was only 15 minutes. Hi.
I was talking. I didn't realize I had me muted because I came into the room earlier, and I didn't want to be, doing weird noises and stuff. Well, hello everybody who has joined us for this wonderful.
Hello, Terry
fantastic.
and Tim. And I think that's it so far. But hey, we are a crowd of many. What a week, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What's that
What a
clicking
week.
noise?
The heat.
Really?
The heat is coming up because it's freezing out.
It's not freezing.
It's cold out.
Yeah, it is cold.
Indeed. So anyway,
Hey,
yes.
Nice
so
avatar,
everybody,
Diana.
I thank you. I did not know about the pre-show, or not the pre-show, the long intro. But
I don't know what you're talking about. It's just an
intro. You
intro.
can't help yourself. It's crazy. Hello, Rick.
It's true. I love doing it. It's fun.
You're so funny.
Well,
Anyway,
hopefully we'll get some more stuff to promote from Tim, Chris, Rick, and maybe we can get Terry's webtoons promoted too.
yeah, that'd be good.
But right now all I really have to promote is Mengai Yoshokin, which is in sign up and getting ready to launch. And we have Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean on webtoons. Episode 3 went up this week. Taking us further into the great story. To be honest with everybody, I think I went to the end of issue 1 with episode 3, which is fine because we still have 3 more issues to go. And there is the Kid Cyclopean featurette that I can do as well. And Diana and I have been talking, and we'll be releasing Heroshack 2019 before too long here. As well. So we'll just basically be taking all our old stuff and putting it on webtoons in an episodic fashion.
Right.
And I think that's pretty cool because we have the stuff available if people want to buy it.
Right.
But it's also, it's like our old stuff. Everything is getting better every year.
Yes.
It's Queen Sting. That's right. Actually, that's an early version of her when she was a blonde.
Yep.
In the book, she becomes a brunette, but yes.
Chris has a partial liking to brunettes, so all the blonde chicks that he does, they all go to brunettes.
That's not true.
You do.
Yoshi
You
has
like
maintained her
brunettes better.
blonde
You
hair
told
through
me.
3 issues.
You told me that when we got together.
Yeah, well, it is true. I have a brunette preference, but Yoshi has maintained blonde hair for 3 issues.
And you've married a blonde.
That's right.
You
Now,
know.
for you guys who don't know, Yoshi is the female protagonist in the group, and she, she's blonde. That's
For the moment.
yeah.
I'm
Well,
okay with
she's
that.
not going to change. I'm not changing her hair color. If you've noticed, our characters in this IP are very specifically designed. All for purposes, and we'll share those as we get there.
Right.
But whoops, hang on, let me try something here. I'm just working on getting everything together, getting it done properly.
Right.
The art for issue 1 is complete. Issue 2 needs another go through, and issue 3 is on the way. I mean, I can't put it any other way.
I'm excited about that. Because then that we can do a launch. We've kind of been very quiet about this whole particular book, but that's okay. You've been taking your time and really kind of.
Well, I've been quiet because I don't want to overhype it before I get there.
Right.
All right, so let's do this. You ready?
I'm ready. What do we do?
Hello, Rick.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi.
Good. What's that?
So hopefully we don't get too many people.
His
I don't have a lot of openings for people yet. Honestly, what's been happening? What's that?
Oh, just reading your thing there.
That was for me.
Yeah.
And what I did was, if I type it in StreamYard, it comes up Chris's name. But if I go over to YouTube and I type it in the YouTube chat, it comes up as my name. So that was me that put, when he goes into a studio, I never know what he's working on. I just was.
Oh, you mean Chris? You never know what Chris is working on.
I try to keep her guessing. But lately, I got to be honest, I've been working, finger to the bone, drawing tons, coloring, polishing script and getting ready. The launch will actually feature 4 different books at this point.
4
3 comic books. Yes, we got the 3 comic books in the black and white. What do we want to call that? It's almost like an encyclopedia, but it's a companion book to kind of keep the reader understanding everything that's going on. It's just like a summary of each character, some of the locations, some of the components, and it features art both from the books and from my work that I've not put in the book. But yeah, 4, honey. Remember the black and white?
Mm-hmm.
I told you guys I've been working. It's. You didn't think I was serious?
Who, me?
Who do you think I'm talking to? Yeah, you.
Oh,
Could be talking to me, although I'm not listening.
Listen, I am listening, but I completely forgot about the black and white because he shows me so much stuff all the time that I lose track. So that's my defense. I'm sticking to it.
Well, it almost sounds like my mom. She doesn't lose track usually, but I do show her a lot. Well, and I think you can take out "This is not a pre-show" now in that ticker tape at the bottom.
No, they might still think we're in pre-show. Actually, I'm
with everybody here.
It gets a little distracting, and I always forget to shut it off. So, how's it going, Rick?
Good.
I was there in your chat for probably the first 15 minutes before I passed out. Last night.
Probably at the half an hour, 45-minute mark, my stream shut down on me. My internet went out, and then I had to start it back. Then I had to start it back up. It took 5 minutes to get my net working again, but it is what it is.
That happens.
Must create a Bible when creating a universe. Terry's right, but I don't know if I have the nuts to call it a Bible. But it is fun, and actually, you want to know that God's honest truth. It's helping me as a reference point for my own purposes as I'm going through this stuff and I'm plotting out the further adventures. Like it's helping me not have any loose ends or forgotten things. Like I hate it when I get going on a story and I forget like a branch that I left hanging. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, but I have.
A literal branch or
but you know what I mean? Like there's this little like piece in the story that I was planning on doing a little diddly do with, and I forgot all about it. It's like, oh yeah, I didn't put that in the book. Oh well, it still worked. But like there's always something.
I usually have my script written out first and know what I want.
Oh no, my script is liable to change. Like for instance, you saw the roughs and stuff of the basically the first time the reader is really made aware of the dodo balls, and that in the script is really just supposed to be him walking up and confronting Bryce. And instead I decided, because of the pacing, I had to go through and add the extra panels to show him like working his way to him. And then once I did those, I kind of did the Stan Lee thing and went and put some dialogue in it just to keep the continuality of it. So like my script will flex on me. Now see, Here's a brother coming in. I got no intro for him because I need something to promote. But it's our friend Terry. Hey, Terry.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Well,
hey, brother.
Well, maybe from his 6 videos that he has on his channel, you can get something.
I need to put something together for you, Terry.
That would be a good idea. Just do it.
Diana could help.
Anyone. Listen, you never ask anyone anyways. You just go and you get these things and you go into the studio and you create and you come out with all these. I'm sorry, the long intro. It's not called the pre-show now, guys. It's called the long intro. Unbelievable he got that funny.
Okay, so did you notice I didn't advertise it? So like I wasn't making a point of trying to.
Well,
I just decided, why not just throw it up?
Yeah, why not?
Some people run those timers for like 20 minutes before their shows.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
you're uncontrollable.
Did you have the timer? Did you have the timer over top of that stuff? I don't think so.
No, I never used the timer. I just let the video tell the story.
Yeah, because you did start a couple minutes late too, so you would have been past the timer.
Yes,
well, you know why that was? I was making a 15-minute video, and so I'll be honest with you, Rick. I had put the Canadian Shield Kickstarter scroll video in it, and I had to go back, take it out, and that's when I put in the classic one. But that took me extra time. My save was a little over my expected time.
You think?
So that's why I started late, because I was waiting on the processing to finish.
I did find it funny that you put my advertisement for my campaign that was over 6 months old in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a classic reel. It's one of my favorites. I love it. I wish you would do more of those because it's really funny.
Did you know you had classic reels?
Yeah, you do now. You do now.
Oh my god.
You should go and look at some of my high noon stuff and listen to my high noon intro.
There you go.
All right. Was that your daily burst, or is that a different feature?
That's a different feature. It was when I was doing a show at noon for like almost 2 years, 3 years.
Oh yeah, I know the show. It's funny.
It was funny and you dropped it?
No, it was funny for those of us who woke up and caught it after it was over.
Yeah. For a while, for a good year, 2 years, I was probably doing 2 shows a day.
No.
Noon to 2, and then from 10 to midnight.
Well, why'd you stop?
Burnout.
Yeah.
That's what it comes. Well, and it's also it's half burnout, like I was trying to do it, they say be consistent in doing this stuff, but I wasn't seeing the results.
Right.
So
right.
If you're doing this and you're not seeing the results, you begin to question, is this really worth it?
Exactly. No, Rick, you did the right thing. You put it out there, you jumped out, you did it, and you're like, you know what? It's not working the way I thought it would. Let's reel it back in and do what you're doing
like the
now.
pre-show. That's why there's no pre-show anymore.
You guys are funny.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure whether the pre-show goes in that exactly, but because I don't know whether it was working or what wasn't working. I think it might have been a bit long, especially with them repeating the videos.
I think the video repeating is essential. It's to brainwash the clients and the customers and all that, so they buy more. Does that sound like it was a good pitch? No, it wasn't a good pitch. Nobody bought it.
So, Christopher, what do we have on topic for tonight? What are we doing tonight?
I'm really not sure what we want to talk about tonight. I mean, a lot's been going on. I'm sure if you were around for... What was that?
Well, since Diana missed the draw stream, she did. Yes.
Oh, Terry, you're always calling me out. What? I missed the draw stream. What was that Great Wolf swimming with my great nieces? It was a lot of fun. Sorry.
I know. But the thing was, there was going to be a few suggestions about what you could do.
Yes. So, can you share with me what I can do on the drawstring besides draw?
Well, that's what you're supposed to be doing on the drawstring, drawing.
I can draw, but I don't have like a setup to like record what I'm doing and stuff.
Well,
you got a camera. Just point it. You got a camera, right? That can see your face painted down at your desk, and
I have my phone.
Draw traditionally.
That works even better.
Wait a minute. I'm supposed to put my camera on my iPad as I'm drawing. That's what you guys do.
Pretty much.
No, but you
Some
can.
of us. Well, I wasn't talking about drawing on your iPad. I was talking about drawing traditionally.
Oh my God! You do not.
Hey, I don't care. I don't think we care how good or bad you are.
Okay, good.
We really don't.
All right, can I?
You just can't put any shame to the family. Remember, your daughter's an artist too.
I know. Oh my word, you guys.
Well,
sure.
Well, no, you can tell us something if you want.
Okay. But I could draw something. Could I copy a picture and draw it? Like, could I?
Yeah.
Sure.
I need that. I need reference material. I just don't have it in my head. But
well, you can pull the reference material up on your, your computer or your tablet. Look at it.
Yeah, I could. Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to do like I don't know what I'll try to do. I was doing like I had taken this past summer. I took a picture of this beautiful tree that we have in our yard, and Chris showed me how to like make it so that you could trace it. Chris, stop.
I mean, the only surviving tree that's left.
What? No, not that tree. The big tree. No, stop complaining about your pine tree. I'm talking about the big silver maple that we have.
Okay, so I just want to be a tree hugger for 10 seconds here and point out
dear God, here
it's not just my pine tree.
Anytime I want to talk, go ahead.
He took Rusty's tree. Rusty had a fruit tree.
Pine tree that was dying.
Hey, Chris, are you pining over that tree?
He is.
No, because I'm talking about, what was that? A pear tree, an apple tree?
No, it was a pine tree, a big pine tree.
Not that one. I'm talking about the other one that you took from Rusty the squirrel.
That was.
Was Rusty the squirrel paired with the tree?
No, it was a.
Yes, and he was very upset.
You guys, it
all
was
last season he stomped on the wood pile that was made from the tree.
It was a sumac tree, and it dropped these like fruit things that just kept planting big trees, and the fruit smelled like a lemon lime. It wasn't poison sumac; it was a sumac tree. And I had a couple of tree experts come out, and they said, "Yeah, you can just take it down." Besides, the neighbors, it was shading their garden. So.
And those squirrels did not.
I did not know that my husband had a friend named Rusty the squirrel that went to the tree. He does not tell me these things.
He was so mad, and I showed you during the spring how mad he was.
Yeah. He was very upset. Rusty was very upset.
He was running on the wood. He was running on the wood, spitting and getting all furious and running back and forth.
Yep.
Now he's moved into the tree in the neighbor's yard.
Yeah. But now I don't have to pick up leaves.
So did it hurt when you schmocked the tree?
No, it was fine.
It hurt my squirrel. It hurt my squirrel.
Diana.
I think Chris is going nuts.
He is nuts.
Diana, I think you missed the whole point of this tale.
Okay, I'm sorry. What?
Well, you were supposed to turn it into a fun children's story.
What? The Rusty? What was I supposed to fit? Rusty?
Yes.
Yes. Maybe I'll draw Rusty. There we go. I'll make a little.
Hey, I didn't even name Rusty. That was the name that my neighbor gave him. Who was like, poor Rusty. And I'm like, Rusty, yeah.
Well, all squirrels I call nuts. Nut. I don't call them nuts. I call them nut. And why do I call them nut? Because I've created a transformer in my universe that is a squirrel, and that squirrel's transformer name is Nut.
Does he become just a nut?
Can we?
No.
He
transforms from a robot, transformer type stuff, into a squirrel.
Okay, so let's revisit the drawstream really quick.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, then we'll have to pull it up. Which one should we pull up? The one on Chris's channel, or mine to revisit?
Are we doing a drawstream on Saturday? Is that what your plan is? What time?
3:00 Eastern.
About 3 o'clock. 3
Who's
o'clock
hosting
Eastern.
it?
I am.
There he is. Okay. So, Chris, you're going to have to remind me, and we'll have to set me up with something.
All right, put it all in my lap. Thank you.
Of course, you're the artist.
No. In this case, it's not. This isn't the case where he's the artist. This is a case where he's the computer technician.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be too bad though. Especially since her new MacBook should be in Friday.
I haven't ordered it yet. I can't find my gift
Then it
card.
won't be here Friday.
Honey,
if you didn't order it tonight by 5, it won't be here Friday.
Really? Are you sure?
You think I'm lying?
No.
We could drive out to the store. It's only about an hour away.
Yeah, I'm not driving anywhere. I can't find my gift card. Oh, what's the problem? Anyway.
It's not a big problem.
Well, it is a problem. But go ahead, guys. Carry on. So, Saturday.
So, in other news, if you were watching the Sunday night, I don't know if he calls it a chill stream or what, on Mike's channel.
It's the Mike Stand Weekend Edition.
There we go.
I did watch it. Well, I was doing other stuff, but I was listening. It was crazy.
But Mr. Yanafui kept talking about EBS and lawsuits, and just to keep everybody apprised, I've actually been talking to EBS. He's requested I destroy any books that have that old logo on it. Unfortunately, Diana and I went through our stuff, and we don't have any in our possession, but that's almost a good thing because it was such a low run. I could always offer the few people that actually bought it some sort of exchange, but at this point, I don't even know who that would be.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, EBS's attorney. It's his desire that if we have any of the Comicsgate TM books affiliated with Preston Poulter's thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Lorenzo.
And hey, Lorenzo. And we don't have any in our possession, so that is a little, unfortunate. But all in all, he's been really cool with me. And Diana and I were talking about it. It's important that people understand the only reason I even opened my mouth about it was because they were saying that the logo was what's her face, Remfamous, right? And it's a funny thing to claim because the actual target was Remfamous. The original logo had her likeness in it, and she was like, I don't want anything to do with it. So the model was changed. So last week or the week before, when they were talking about it and making jokes about it being Remfamous, I was like, nah, I can't let that slide. I got to tell people that's not Remfamous, because that just wouldn't have been cool, in my opinion, to just, it's like putting her out there for a CG anger when it was completely unnecessary. So I put my foot in a way because I brought attention to it to the Heroshack participation. But fortunately, Ethan's been rather, I'd say, compassionate. He could have been a lot more, angry. Yeah, that's our dog ringing the bell.
I'll be right back.
Take your time.
Your dog has you well trained.
I see.
So Lorenzo, yeah, it's kind of weird. I have a Heroshack channel, but I haven't verified it yet. So I can't put links in the description and all that stuff. And can you hear the bell?
Not now.
The dog is literally down there ringing the bell. I can hear it.
Maybe just barely at times, but
It'll end in a second here. She's taking her out, but I will get that fixed up hopefully sometime this quarter. The problem is I keep getting distracted with the. This sounds so weird. I get distracted with making the book that I forget to do the other things that I intend to do.
No.
But
oh yeah, that's because this channel is under your name, not your.
Yep. And it's actually my old Christian channel, so I have probably like 1,900 Christian subscribers that were around for the the Christian videos, and now I don't even think they know the the comic book stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, that's right, and I wanted them to know that too, Lorenzo, because the guys in the chat that I was reading on Twitter seemed to have no idea. They thought that it was Remphamis. And I'm like, no, it's not her. I will open up my mouth and I will not let that go by just because, again, I don't think she deserves it. I know that, actually, I don't know much about Remphamis other than she's really hated and she's pretty much a social justice warrior. That's all I've ever heard about her.
Well, she became the butt of Ethan's jokes because he referred to all of us as bigots, Nazis, homophobes, transphobes.
Yeah, I thought it was something like that. Very SJW blanket attacks. Yep.
Yeah. It's never good to try and refer to a whole bunch of people that you don't know as something, unless, especially when, nobody in the group has claimed to be that stuff,
Right.
Like do your research before you talk,
Well, the hardest part with Comicsgate is actually nailing down what it is. And I don't mean like it's a customer movement or any of that. But if you go from one end of Comicsgate to the other, you'll go directly from, Christian creators who have every bit of intention of wholesome, great comics down to, the darkest of dark and darn near Satan worshipers, like you go through the whole spectrum. Like comics defies any sort of stereotypical attack when I hear people say, oh, it's just a hate group. I'm like, well, some of it I could see you classifying it as that, but it's not the whole of it, and it's not even the majority of it. So it's kind of weird when trying to talk to like someone who doesn't have a perception of it other than, oh, it was war campaign or whatever they're upset about, in their memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, war campaign was part of Comicsgate, but it wasn't all of Comicsgate.
True.
Right. And you can certainly tell in the aftermath of them kind of shutting down and becoming something else. They're still around, but they're not really doing what they were doing, at least not with comics. Their influence was, I wouldn't say that they were Comicsgate, but they were heavily influential, highly charismatic guys. And I guess they've moved on to Canadian law or something, right? Like that's their big thing now.
You want to know something real funny?
I wouldn't say all of them, but because Roe was the head of it, he has.
Right.
Because he's Canadian, just like me. Although he's from out
west.
I
heard him singing the song. Didn't you hear him sing it?
No.
Yeah, he was like, I am Canadian. Drinking. I've never heard him sing it either. I'm just kidding. Terry, what was funny?
No.
Remphamis
was saying that beloved characters can be race or gender swapped with no problem. So Ethan decided to gender swap Rainbow Bright. That's how we got Rainbow Brute.
Well, he did several characters in a video.
Yeah, he did several, but Rainbow Brute hit hardest. Let's put it that way.
Well, I'm not sure whether it hit hardest, but he definitely thought he could do the most with it. Although he did incorporate the other ones in because I think Rainbow Brute Drew is writing the quote unquote My Little Pony that version that he created.
Yeah.
Rainbow Brute's son is sort of the He-Man or the He-Man
Right.
that he created, or the
Right. Reverse
reverse She-Ra,
She-Ra. Yeah.
which is just He-Man, so that makes no sense really.
No, the thing is,
Gender swapping He-Man because gender swapped He-Man is She-Ra.
yeah.
Hey, did you guys hear that noise?
Which noise?
No.
Hey, what?
That noise.
You
Hi,
mean the
Tim.
sound of a chair breaking?
Hey,
Timothy.
Yeah, I need
Timothy.
to do some work on that.
Timothy, you were supposed to call first.
Was I supposed to call first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way we could warn the neighbors.
Oh,
So yeah, I
Am I
need to
that
touch
dead?
them all up. I probably need to make them like 10 seconds instead of 20
yeah.
and get some better footage, but that's a start.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a good start.
Yeah,
Terry,
I'm
we
looking-
need one for you.
I'm looking forward to getting all the packages out. I start packaging things up for all the backers. I got about 8 packages.
No
right now.
kidding. The books are in?
Well, some of them.
All right.
So
Congratulations.
There's more coming. I wanted to
Yeah.
take after I get them all out though. I want to take like a year off from crowdfunding and try other events and stuff. Work on that on the website and whatnot. It's gonna burnt out
Are you
from
going to
it all,
become a
really.
professional poker player?
No.
Nah.
No, I'm just gonna try
I
some
was just
events and
curious.
try
That
to sell
takes a
books.
lot of funds.
Yeah, try to sell books other places.
I agree, Lorenzo.
Yeah, thank you. Try to sell books at other places and such. Kind of give that crowdfunding thing kind of burnt out.
Crowdfunding is weird. I like it only for promotional purposes. Like you
So
get
it's not
30
really
to
the
60
crowdfunding
days.
though. It's
No,
kind of
but
all
I
this-
like the promotion.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing to it other than, like you set you set like a finish line and you try to get to it. And then if you do, you go to in demand. But
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like that for 30 to 60 days, you've got an excuse to post your campaign everywhere you can.
Oh
to
yeah,
talk
you
about
gotta
your
get that
IP,
hustle on. No, just all the nonsense that goes around with the whole crowdfunding thing kind of just drags you down. Just kind of wears you out.
Yeah.
Well, the
I
other
can feel
good
you
thing
there.
about crowdfunding, it gives you an excuse to go on somebody's book and you can hype it up in just the fact that, you've got 60 days or whatever number of days to get in here and get the extras, then, maybe you're going to be able to get the book somewhere else, but you're not going to be able to get all these, nifty extras.
Right.
Yep. And the
But,
timer starts. Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
That's
And
the
then
thrill of it. Like, I hate it, but I love it in the end. Like, I hate that lull in the middle. And it's like, oh my God, I've been stuck here at 2:30 for 10 days. What am I going to do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate that too.
Oh my gosh, it's like a bad roller coaster.
Yeah. Well, then you got all the extra nonsense, all the stupid arguments that really don't mean anything.
That's true.
And then you say something wrong or whatever, and then you end up feeling stupid after you say it. Like, why did I say that?
Like the
Well,
first
I
time
know
you're
that's
on my
one thing.
my channel promoting Melvin One.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, that was
I know
funny.
that, but guys,
Yeah.
it's like you have to walk on your tiptoes when you're in full swing of a campaign.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody's ever done this. I know I have, but sometimes you can get in a situation where you say something, and all of a sudden, backers are backing out, and it's like, oh, like I should have never talked about politics or whatever the subject is.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't know if
But,
that ever plays a factor. I'm just saying all the well, you said that person said this, and I'm offended, and that person is like, Why did I participate in such a stupid thing?
It's been a factor for me because I've actually had, backers contact me and say, "Oh yeah."
What
And
has
what are you
been a
going to say
factor
at
for
that
you?
point? What's that?
What has been a factor for you?
Opening my mouth and losing backers.
In other words, him putting his foot in his mouth.
But he does it often. It's part of his repertoire.
And they love him for it. That's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
or more accurately, they don't love him for it. That's why they back out.
If I had a
They
real
usually
company
back out
behind
right
me,
after
I
they
would,
get the book.
Hi, Tim.
If I was a little better, I could be like a Marvel guy who kind of has attitude, like what's his face, Jim Steranko. Now I'm not comparing myself to him, but I could be like him, like a little grumpy, a little Neil Adamishy.
That's not Jim Steranko. That's Jim Shooter.
Yeah, Shooter was a hot fire too.
That was before the days where anything you can say could be captured for posterity,
and before the days where everybody was outraged by almost anything that was said.
Christopher, when I left to go walk the dog, you were talking about the book and the logo and Ethan and all that. Did you finish that conversation? I kind of missed it.
Oh yeah. No. So basically I was just updating what's happening, at least as far as our, knowledge of the situation. I mean,
yeah, we do not have any of the books with that logo on it. That was a while. It was like 2 years ago. We didn't keep printing it. I think we printed it for that one round. And
it was 2020 when we actually published it.
Yep.
And I remember we had some for the conventions, but the problem is books that didn't sell well ended up on our Wheel of Fortune.
They were giveaways.
And they also, everything that I had that wasn't selling, that wasn't a compilation book, ended up going into the free comic giveaway. And I gave away a total of 300 books, but most of those were from somebody's collection that they gave me.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to have somebody donate a long box to me. And I was like, well, they're Marvel and DC. And I went through them, and there were a couple of good ones, but I was like, you know what? If a kid gets this and he realizes what he has, I'll let fate take hold, and maybe he'll become a collector. Maybe he'll love it. Maybe it'll become junk and end up in the trash. But that's what comics did, and that's what they do.
Well, we all know that comics was supposed to be a disposable medium, not a collectible one, when it started.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah. So now you got.
I didn't even realize that when I first started getting comics. I have a lot of Archie and DC and a few DC Marvels that are not in the best condition.
Right.
Well, it's mostly my Archie comic.
I didn't really care about that whole collectible thing. I'm like, I want to read a book.
Exactly.
Yep. When I started buying, I bought them out of a spinner rack, which was not the best way to store these, by the way. And I had to walk home about 2 miles, but they would always end up rolled up in my back pocket with one of them in my hand as I tried to read it walking down the sidewalk for the 2.5 miles. I mean,
I got mine. What every 10-year-old kid was doing at the time.
I got mine at a thrift way.
Really?
While my grandparents grocery shopped, I always got like Wolverine or Marvel Comics Presents. I think I got the first Image comic books I got were on spinner racks.
Mine was at a convenience store called Rosie's, which was a little mom and pops across from the town Demoulas and Almies, if anybody remembers Almies.
Yeah.
Most of my Archies, which were the first ones I was getting for quite some time, were at a convenience store across from my grandparents. They'd give me money, and then I'd end up going over there for something and buy 2 or 3 Archies along with whatever else.
I got all of my Archies from the grocery store right next to the TV guide.
Well, you know what was the most shocking to me, and this might crack up modern readers, but I subscribed one Christmas to, I think it was Spider-Man and maybe X-Men, but the way Marvel would send you the book would be in a brown paper wrapper, and that was it. It was wrapped in a brown paper wrapper. It was open top and bottom, so your book would slide, and you would get this piece of crap in your mailbox, and it was so cool. Like, even though it was never in mint condition, I loved getting the mail, and I'd oh my gosh, it's here, and read it, and it's all like messed up, but it don't matter.
The subscriptions were the best. That's all I got to say.
I had a subscription to Captain America for about 2 years.
Yeah. I never got a subscription to comics, but I did get a subscription to Nintendo Power for a few years.
The best subscriptions for comics were a subscription to X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, and one other Marvel title. I forgot what it was.
Did Rick say that he subscribed to Nintendo Power?
Yes, I did.
Did you have a Nintendo?
Yes, I did. Unfortunately, when I moved, I got rid of I think all of them or 99% of them.
Oh, come on, Rick. You weren't supposed to do that.
Well, I might have, I might not. I forget whether I kept them, but I figured I didn't have the Nintendo anymore, or like Nintendo or Super Nintendo. So all the information in them was, out of date and obsolete. And I could get most of it on the net.
I have fantastic news to share with everybody.
Uh-huh.
I got a subscription to a Nintendo Power through a membership I got from Hollywood Videos Game Crazy.
Cool.
I am going to have a minor upgrade. So this is my Retroid 2 Plus, and it's got one knobby missing, but it still works. It's just missing a little header. But this thing has been so durable and strong for what? Now it's over a year. And they came out with the Retroid 3 Plus. And
first of all, those things were built to be thrown against the wall. Those things were built to be thrown against the wall because every time you lost, you got so mad that you threw it.
Not when you're 53.
I didn't quite catch that last part, Chris. Are you giving it away, selling it?
No, this thing, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I was going to donate it to the school, but they don't even use the cheap one that I gave them. So I'm not sure what to do with it yet. I have to see how portable the 3 Plus is because it's a bigger screen, but it's smaller than the Switch. So it's kind of in between this and the Switch. But the big thing that this really is that I can stick it in a shirt pocket and it stays. And then I don't know that the other one will do that. I'll probably have to use my vest pocket, which could be weird, but we'll see. Why, do you want one? Do you like these?
Well, I've never had one because I don't really want to spend that sort of money on one.
Well, so here's the thing. It's still expensive, but you can get these for about $100, $150. The card costs another, I don't know, $20. But the ROMs, they're, you just go online, and I hate to say this, I don't want to get sued.
Oh yeah, I know all about the ROMs. I've got the emulators for my
PC and whatnot. Yeah, it's the same idea, but they're usually running on Android.
Yeah. So I've got, I've got a Nintendo and emulator, Super Nintendo emulator. Not that I use them that much. I used to play them a bit more, but I don't. And I had them for my original Xbox. I had it modded, and I downloaded the emulators for it with a whole bunch of ROMs. The ROMs are easy to get.
Yeah, they don't hide them very well.
Oh, I did forget to say that. At least in 2024, I am thinking about doing Kickstarter.
Yeah, you know what? I am too. There's got to be an answer to the whole Indiegogo thing. I'm watching my comic, but I think they're having issues.
Heck, when I'm done revamping, remastering the colors for the Canadian Shield 1 here, I'm doing it back on Kickstarter again, seeing whether it's fun. But I'll also have 2 and 3, 2 on there, as well as Snowdrift 1 for people to get as well. So, and at that point I'll have hopefully 2 and 1 printed up for Snowdrift, 1 for Snowdrift, 2 for Canadian Shield. So I'll just have to reprint these up, but they'll be all done. So,
right.
Does anybody know what Lorenzo is talking about?
Let's see. He said, "Hi, Diana." He said, "There are moderate and extremists and SJWs." Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Chewy is being ridiculous. Yes, Chewy rang the bell to get attention, and now Diana doesn't know what to do with her. The problem with Chewy is Diana has trained her that when you ring the bell, mommy will come.
You're
and then, like it's
yeah, it's true. It's true. And Chris has proven it time and time again. I just took her out. She did her business. I sat down. I'm listening to the chat. All of a sudden, she jumped off my couch in my office and ran upstairs and rang the bell again. She just wants me. She wants me to go to bed. It's almost 10 o'clock. You're usually in bed by 9:30. She's like, what's going on? You guys should be coming to bed with me.
No, she knows what's going on. It's Wednesday night.
I know. I found my apple cart.
Like I said, your dog has you well trained.
She really does. It's awful. It's an awful thing.
So we've decided to upgrade Diana's computer because she desperately needs one. Hello, Herman. And we picked out a MacBook Air for her. And the biggest motivation is that she is entirely Apple anyway. She uses 2 iPads and an iPhone. And she's been using a Macintosh running Windows for the last, 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
well, I've been using, Macintosh, a desktop Mac running Windows. But the only thing that I work off of, you guys, is Google Suites. Everything I do is in Google.
And we talked about Chrome, but she didn't seem too excited.
Hey, Herman.
Google is Chrome.
No. What I mean is we talked about doing a Chromebook, and she wasn't too excited with that notion.
I think it's the M1, Lorenzo.
The MacBook Air, the one she is getting is the M2. So it's
M2?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
That's what I picked.
Oh, why is it in my thing?
The MacBook Air. So just make sure to give it some air. Throw it up, give it some air, let it come down, then be a smash and toss.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's an M2 because I have the M1 Mac Mini, and I'm not going to upgrade at least until M3 or M4, and it'll be with an iMac. Because I do miss my all-in-one iMac. I have a Competent setup now, but it's not the same.
You have the Mac Mini, right? Don't you?
Yeah. And the
What's
thing about Diana,
between the M1 and the M1 chip and the M2 chip, besides like M2 is newer.
Well, M2 is
probably
newer.
More powerful.
It's faster.
Okay.
And if we get you the M1, you're just that much closer to being obsolete. Like with Apple, you're always better off getting the latest processor you can afford because they will end up cutting it off in 3 to 4 years. Like you'll start losing performance. So mine is probably going to be, pretty good for another year or two. And then I'll be like, okay, it's time to start looking at iMacs or even the Mac Studio. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm primarily still playing with video. Not anything, cinematography or whatever, but I need more power than iMovie gives me. And to run,
they don't make them in pretty colors though.
Oh,
yes, they do. The iMacs, they do.
No, the Mac.
What's that, Rick?
Mighty Geek.
Hey,
left.
we lost Mighty Geek.
Where'd he go? He does that all the time, So
he's off to save another village somewhere.
Lorenzo, to answer your question, apparently I'm getting the M2 because Chris just said M1 is almost obsolete. So I got to gift
not
card for my
almost
son.
obsolete. But why? So the M2 I think costs $200 more, right?
Yeah, about that.
But buying the M1, you're then going to put yourself in the same position I am, where you have a year or two left on that chip, where it's going to be prime, and then it's going to start fading.
It's $200 difference.
Yeah,
See,
it's worth it to me.
Mega Tour. He wants you to buy Mega 2, and every time he clicks it, it's $9.95 to you.
Right. I guess. I don't know.
No, I have to keep the processors advancing so that when it's my turn, I can get the M5. I can look at Diana and go.
What will happen is he'll probably be the one you have now, right? The one you have now The
Right.
mini thing will eventually come my way, right?
Well, who knows? We're throwing a little bit of a wrench in it by getting you a MacBook, because that should, especially once we get the adapter and you can hook into the large monitor, that should pretty much ease everything you want to do. You'll see. But who knows? You could hate it and end up with a desktop. But my thought is
that it's going to be too small because I'm used to a desktop for like my big work for typing and stuff like that.
Hey, RJ.
What's up? What's up? iPhone 20. I like it. I just got the newest one. What is it? 14.
Hey, RJ.
And or it's 13 or 14.
I will never get an iPhone.
What are you using? Androids?
Yeah, I got I'm not sure what the brand is at the moment. I think a Galaxy. But
you could actually you could emulate the heck out of stuff on that phone, I bet.
Probably. But the reason I will never get a iPhone is you can't upgrade it.
Yes, that's pretty much true.
And by upgrade, I mean you can't go out and get a SD card or a micro SD card and put in it and have more space or whatever to for songs or whatever.
I want to say you're right, but I'm not sure for sure. But I think you're correct. I've seen SD cards in these before, minis, but I don't actually believe. I believe this model actually doesn't have that.
Okay,
but who knows? Because I never use it.
Oh, RJ's saying actually you can. Last time I heard you couldn't, and it's been a few years since I heard that. So maybe they changed their ways.
Even then, the heartbreaker about the Mac is what's that?
Why doesn't RJ hop on? There's an opening.
There is an opening, and the link is in the description for anybody who wants to join in.
There are Lightning port USB thumb drives that have extra space.
Actually,
it's not internal to the phone. Yeah, that's what I mean. Internal, more than anything.
I use one of those hard drives with my Mac Mini because I got the 256 gig, and with with my video application, the Final Cut Pro, it did not work well with 256 gigabytes of hard drive. It demanded more space.
And by you mean internal, something that you can just put in a slot that's built into the phone, right, RJ?
Right. I think that's what internal. I think But the thing is, I never used my phone for that. But I see your point.
Yeah, but when I found out about that made me say I'll never buy an iPhone. Because
if they put a little SD card slot in there, you'll be okay with it.
What about an e-phone?
Well, I'm sorry, I need to bring the conversation to like Apple.
Rick, I have a question though. If you don't buy an iPhone, how are you going to see it?
Oh my God!
I heard Apple phones are rotten to the core.
How am I going to see it? By buying a C phone.
I like my Apple.
Well,
phone.
Tim, they're only rotten to the core. They are rotten to the core, but they're the apple of your eye. It's
apparently they're the phone that you're supposed to give your teacher.
They're what?
You're supposed to give your teacher.
You're supposed to give this phone to your teacher.
You're supposed to give him an apple.
Oh my
every
God.
day. Every darn day.
Uh-huh.
Yes, because an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
So it's almost 10 o'clock. I think we should move on from the Apple product line because it sounds like we're endorsing them and we're typically not.
On to IBM.
But hey, I'm not endorsing them. I said I will never buy the product.
I'll accept money from them.
Yes, Lorenzo is correct. Apple has locked down, so you have to go to Apple. You have to go everything Apple. And I honestly, I like my phone. I'm comfortable with my Apple phone, but I have family members that don't like Apple and they use other phones. But then I have family members that love Apple. So I guess it's just Whatever you're comfortable with. Whatever works for you.
So I
And then I
Googled
won't
it
buy
just to make
Apple.
sure.
Yeah.
iPhone
And then,
14 and the 14 Max Pro Plus, which is what I ended up with, does not have a micro SD card slot. The way RJ described is essentially the only way to get memory added to the phone, and that is by dongles. So it would be like attaching an external hard drive, or
Yeah.
maybe I'm willing to bet you could do a micro SD card reader, but that's still external. It's not in the device.
Right.
yeah.
So Rick wins that argument, my friend. I stun vested. Yes,
And of
do
course,
that.
the reason I won't get, like an actual, Mac product, it's just too darn expensive.
They are.
It is expensive. You're right.
I can get something probably twice as powerful for the same price.
That is true too. The one thing about Apple, and I'm sure there are PC manufacturers that can compete, but their build quality is exceptional.
The
With
geek is
that
back.
said, if you put $1,000 in an HP, the HP build quality is pretty darn good too. And same with Dell. If you go and buy a $400 plastic laptop, it's going to feel like a $400 plastic laptop. But anytime you're spending $1,000 for a laptop, it should be solid.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's true for most window manufacturers. I mean, but you still get better, more advanced tech, like Rick is talking about. If you're spending $1,000 at HP, you'll get like the premier, mobile Intel chip. Whereas with Mac, you might get the M1, you might get the M2. I know until recently they were still doing the A14. I think that's what it was. That's what's in your iPad. Do you have an A14 micro bionic chip or something?
Speaking of updates,
yes, sir.
Recently,
say that again.
Did you see any interesting updates on Twitter recently?
I haven't looked recently. Like, what's recently?
Perhaps from yours truly on a certain third issue.
Oh, he's saying the latest panel
stuff.
Panel page.
Yes, I see it. It's very nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. The new panels are adding to the last two.
That's awesome. That's exciting, huh, Tim?
Very.
In the DMs, I was just sort of teasing you because I had the PDF for extra page. I had the PDF for extra page 1, and I had the PDF for extra page 3. So I was like, "Where's extra page 2?"
Oh, I didn't realize he labeled it that way. I was like, what is he talking about?
So now the artist on this book is
Sid.
Thank you. I will probably ask you right up until the time I back it, because I get confused and I can barely remember who draws my book.
Wayne, don't you?
And I'm the inker for it, for Melvin 3.
Yeah,
that's right.
He's also colored.
Oh, I thought you were saying you were the inker for my book. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I didn't know. If you guys didn't see, I did put out today a page. This, that, and everything, JD. But today I put out on my thing about just over 20-minute video of me starting a comic for somebody else, doing the pencils, inks, if you will. The first page. I can't show every page, but every 2 to 3 pages I'll show. So I think the next page I'm going to show is page 3. I'm in the middle of working on page 2.
That's very cool.
That is cool. Actually, what's really exciting is everybody's like starting up the 2023 projects. Because here I go. Watch this. I'm going to be really commercial. Like, I know the Man Guy 3 is almost completed. Well, it's not almost completed. I'm on like page 4, but you guys know my pace. By the end of the month, this will be fully launched.
And of course, I'm working. And of course, I'm revamping Canadian Shield 1. I'm trying to get a secret project done for my webtoons, and then of course there's the manga that I'm doing for I guess my thing as well. My webtoons
That's
on the draw along. I work on that on the draw along every Saturday. So I know what I'm doing every Saturday that way.
Yeah, I don't know, Terry. Do we have a theme Saturday, or is it come as you are?
I was suggesting come as you are.
Okay.
Unless someone can think of one.
I'm no good at themes.
I'm talking to you, Diana.
Oh my God! Call me out again. How about?
You said you wanted to be part of this group, so
I did, but I don't draw, guys.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I think we should all just come do whatever we
I
want.
write. Can I come and write? That's not very exciting, though. I can type.
As long as we can hear you writing every word. So we'll have to put you like on a speech to text or text to speech. So when you type it, it'll come out. So it'll be like, the fox ran through the yard.
I don't know what that is, JD, myself. Well, I know what animation is, but
never heard of that. Hello, JD.
Unless you mean Japanese.
Japanese animation. Actually, I'm curious because there are so many names now for so many styles. What is that?
But Jerry, no, I don't have any kind of a theme. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to draw.
Or could
I will be there.
Animation that comes from France.
As I said, that's totally up to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
well, you could draw a bath.
Who said? Oh my God!
Yes, she could.
I could draw a bath. That's what I'll do.
You could also draw a weapon on your husband for saying that.
Yes, exactly.
True.
Yep. No, I can draw a stick figure. Is what I can do.
Hey, just pull up your drawers and act like a lady.
Can we pass a law that there should be no more dad jokes?
No, they're funny.
I will draw up the legislation for you, Tim.
Good.
I just want to address JD put that Japanese animation. I'd never even heard of it before. It'd be interesting to see it. You guys know what it is, or is he just fooling with us?
Well,
is he turning Japanese?
He says it's French-Japanese example. Yeah, he gave an example. I've never even heard of it. Just being.
You know what, JD? I need to be exposed to it, but I have Google and I will check this out. I like the idea of it.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest,
I can't say I've seen it, so I don't know whether I like it or not.
Well, my top two favorite films, and I have been binge watching them over and over to give you an idea, is Kung Fu Hustle and Shaolin Soccer. And if you have not seen both of them, I'm catching them on YouTube. I have premium, so I can watch in a playlist, and it doesn't put commercials in between. And
it is one of the funniest things ever.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I'm like addicted.
I've got.
Didn't we do the soccer one the other night?
Yeah, we did Shaolin Soccer.
Yeah, it was so funny. The first one was better though.
Well, Kung Fu Hustle is better produced, but Shaolin Soccer is just
really that funny. Because sometimes I thought it was just plain silly.
It's
silly, yes, but it makes
hysterical.
Yeah, it's not funny like wow, Robin Williams would have loved this.
No,
it's funny like I don't believe what dumbass thing they just did.
For me, I was like absolutely astonished. What was the apartment lady with the cigarette, and she's talked through the whole movie with the cigarette.
Yeah.
But then whenever they started to run, I was taking a drink, spit the drink. I was like dying. I was like, oh, it's so.
And in itself, that's not funny. In itself, a woman running fast is not funny. But this movie has so many levels of absurdity that it's like, of course she runs like the Flash. Of course.
What about when they were getting away and they I guess they had was it gelato or something or ice cream and everyone was laughing. He's got the ice cream like dripping out of his mouth.
From the end of the train, or subway, he's like, ah ha ha ha.
Yeah,
and it was
just like a moron.
Well, Chris, by the way, if you ever find yourself falling from a great height, please don't leave your handprint in the ground.
Oh yes. Oh god. That
No,
so the ending of that
that's from
movie.
Kung Fu Hustle.
Yep, the ending of that movie when he goes up, jumps on a
Yeah.
bird, and then comes down, his clothes burn off his body, and the impression that he leaves is incredible. Like, and it
With
was all
open
absurd.
palm.
Tim raises a good point because it's all stupid. If you don't get into it, like if you're just catching a
It's
clip or
so
something,
absurd and over the top.
Well, every trope in that movie was stolen from other movies.
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
How'd you feel about Kung Pao Enter the Fist?
Dude, the mime scene was stolen from Enter the Dragon.
I
JD
don't
for
think
the
I've
Little
seen
Prince.
that one, Tim.
Oh,
For J-
the creator of Ace Ventura literally took a kung fu movie and redubbed it. There's actually only really 4 actual actors in it, and the rest is just like redubbed footage. It's hilarious.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
JD for the Little Prince. Is that the kid's cartoon? You know that he lives on a little planet and then goes all over the universe or to Earth or whatever.
I think so.
I've seen that and I like that.
Yeah.
I was trying to check it out, but the with that terminology, I don't seem to pull up much stuff. It just goes to Japanese animation stuff.
Yeah, I don't see much. Japanese is a French-Japanese restaurant. That's what I was looking at it because it sounded interesting. And I'm like, then it said, I found one that's slang dictionary that's not very nice.
Hello, Dwup Dwup.
You got what?
Well, that was
I
interesting.
think we just got trolled.
Well, they
think
tried.
so. They tried.
The whole thing with putting Rick on full screen was so I would have the opportunity to get rid of him.
Yeah, I'll tell you messed up just as slightly, but
yeah, but we still got him. We still got him.
Yeah. Nothing much showed really. I think you might be better not putting that link in the description.
Well,
I thought he wasn't doing that, but I guess he did. Again, guys, he goes into his studio and he does these things with anything that I have no idea what he does half the time.
It adds a live element. Like anybody in our chat right now, JD or RJ or Lorenzo or anybody else, they're all welcome to come in and it's there.
Yeah, I think you're better just to create a group on Twitter in the DMs and put all these people in and just, put the link in there.
Oh, it would be safer. So what, Diana? What were you going to say?
That's what Lorenzo does.
I'm looking at the Little Prince. I'm just trying to find information on this Japanese-French thing, and I can't really find a lot.
I don't think it's really a thing.
Sir, the person that did the Adventures of Little Prince is Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. That's definitely a French name, and there's a French adaptation of it. Anyways,
okay, I'm going to help you guys here.
Rabbit hole.
I will be kind and help you, honey.
Money, thank you. That is exactly why you don't put links in the description. Dwop. Christopher.
Okay.
You were not supposed to do that, but I love you. But it's okay. Don't do it again.
Is this what we're talking about?
I don't know.
No, that's the Petite Prince. You're looking for the Little Prince. Well, it says
Little
Prince official.
I have a bad feeling about that, probably.
What? The little...
I don't know. We have all these people. I have all these
No.
people we don't even know giving us suggestions.
Okay, so no big deal. Yes, it is
for.
a 40. So JD, you are correct. What he's talking about is the Little Prince. I'm looking at it right now. It was created by Antoine, which is was a French writer, poet, journalist, and pioneering aviator. He became a laureate of several of France's highest literary.
Oh, okay. So it's okay.
So he is. Yeah. It is JD. I see what you're talking about. It does look very interesting.
Okay, so JD is a legit person and not a troll. Good.
Yeah. No, JD is a real person.
Yeah, I have heard of the Little Prince before
Yeah. No, it sounds pretty interesting.
It wasn't the one Chris was showing. Looks like a newer thing. This
Yeah.
is back from the 70s or 80s, maybe
Oh,
earlier.
Let me see.
oh, you have to put it. You have to enter a date then.
Yes, let's see.
I think
just like make
JD
the
might be saying for the Mysterious Cities of Gold for 1982. Little Prince might be 83 or something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, the Little Prince is a good show, especially for kids. But I'd probably still watch it nowadays. You know, it's I guess there's 40 episodes of it.
Mhm.
I've probably seen every episode.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's it right there.
so JD, is that the one that I'm showing right now? Is that what you're I believe that's what he's talking about. I'm pretty sure it is. Anyhow.
It's the one that I'm thinking about for sure.
Mm-hmm. The Adventures of. It looks really cool. It looks like something that honestly my daughter probably knows about. She's very into anime and stuff like that, manga.
She's our
And
Japanese.
it was through the 1980s, so it's 1980s through 1985.
Yeah.
So yes,
I didn't.
okay, cool.
I didn't even realize it was anime type thing.
Yeah, I'm going to write that down, and I'm going to ask her later on.
It was known as something else in the West.
Was it?
Yeah, it was called Japanimation.
Japanimation. Okay.
Yeah.
So anime, right?
Not anime, Japanimation.
Japanimation. Huh. Well, it looks fun, but thank you for the recommendation, JD. I appreciate that. I'm always looking for new fun stuff to watch or check out. But I am going to run it by Larissa because she is our manga expert in the house and anime, everything. She knows a lot about that kind of stuff. So she may even have it on tape.
Speaking of manga, you brought a manga that I borrowed from her back, didn't you?
I did, because you were not using it. It was collecting dust.
Yeah, but like I said, I did watch that as a kid or early teen, and it was really good. I liked it a lot back then.
Did you? Okay. Well, that's good. Something I can put on my list of things to do. Chris, we can borrow it again. She's right downstairs. Do not despair. I heard
I'm
that.
not despairing. I yawned. I'm getting like super tired, unfortunately.
Well, it is 10:16, and I'm getting ready to go to bed. I have an early meeting at 8:30 tomorrow morning, so I got to get my
all right.
So 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock on Saturday. I think
3 o'clock Eastern on Saturday.
On Mighty Geeks channel. So maybe somebody should put a link to his channel in the chat so people can find it, so they can subscribe if they want to watch whoever of us, at least 3 of us, come on and draw whatever we're drawing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be there. Last week I drew the one of the splash pages for the book, and it was kind of funny because we got so into it, meaning Diana and I, that we were considering maybe it should be a cover. But then I talked myself out of it because there's so much more that the cover needs to say. It's literally meant to be put in the story, not as a cover. So
I can't say that I am at least. Oh, sorry. I was just going to answer JG. I can't say that I'm familiar with that. At least
no, I've never heard of it myself.
I might know it by a different title, but probably not. I might look it up.
No, I think JD.
Have to look it up.
For me, you're like an encyclopedia of culture because I am so Western.
It's another animated series.
I could even say I'm Northeastern American cartoon knowledge. Like literally most everything I know about anime and cartoons came from Channel 38 and Channel 56. Literally, like,
guys, it was set in 1532. And it follows the adventures of a young Spanish boy named Esteban.
Okay, we can check that out too.
That sounds vaguely familiar too. Well, the name sounds familiar, but
the name sounds familiar, but I'm not.
I'm going to write that one down too, because I will ask Larissa. She may have some of these, and I can just geek out with her. She loves watching that kind of stuff.
Diana
Thank you,
geeking
JD,
out is
for
always
those
a show.
recommendations. I appreciate it very much. It's always nice to expand our viewing.
Our viewing pleasures.
Yeah, our viewing stuff. All right.
I'm looking
you
at
were
this. I
watching
might
some-
have seen bits of it before, but I don't think I've watched it fully.
You mean the one the gold cities?
Yeah, because the stuff looks familiar, the pictures, but
not
it might just
familiar
be the
enough to be
cartoon.
sure.
It just might be the cartoon style that is I'm
Oh,
familiar with.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I was supposed to get so much homework done tonight, and I didn't get anything done. This is not good.
Why not? You should have. What happened?
Because it's Wednesday night.
It's Wednesday night.
No,
Spaghetti?
it's not just because of that. It's just, I couldn't get into it. I got to get my head wrapped around it. It's like, oh, man.
Time to brew a pot of coffee and do an all-nighter.
No.
Do it.
I don't do well like that. I'll do it Friday. Friday's probably going to be a snow day for us. So, hey, Riss, I got a question for you. Have you ever heard of Little Prince, the anime or manga series?
I have heard of it. I have not seen it.
How about the Mysterious Gold series anime? It's an anime.
What?
It's called The Mysterious Gold, right, guys?
No, the
Mysterious
Mysterious
Cities of Gold.
Again, I've heard of it. I have not seen it.
We got to get those and rent them.
Must be like really,
Honey,
really old.
honey, ask her about Super Friends.
Ask
Shut up. Shut
ask
up.
her about Corey in the house.
No, stop.
Well,
Best
you can always
anime. Best anime.
Would you say?
ask. You can ask her
Someone said
about.
Corey in the house, so I said best anime.
What about Robotech?
It's a joke.
Oh my God! Stop
It's a
it, all of
joke.
you! Just stop.
What about
First
Seinfeld?
of all, Robotech is not something you jump into feet first.
When I was a kid, and it was Sunday, it was Robotech and
Thank you.
Star Blazer were the only two cartoons to watch.
Okay, Battle of the Planets.
Yes.
Oh, I also have something to call at least Chris and Rick out on.
That show was called Battle of the Planets and G-Force in the United States. It's called Gotcha Man in Japan.
Remember that thing I mentioned that you guys thought was like a TV show with celebrities and such?
Mm-hmm.
No.
What was it? It was oh God, it was what I actually suggested was what I actually referenced was a Marvel event that was prior to Secret Wars.
Mm.
Okay.
Hold
I
on.
still don't remember.
I'm thinking harder.
When was this that you said about it?
I think it was on your on the draw stream.
Okay, so I could have been there or could not have been there. Depends on when
It
I
would have to have been before 4.
No, it was before the actual original Secret Wars. It was oh, what was it called? It'll probably hit me way later.
Oh, and I was gonna say too. What's his name there? JD, if you want to maybe subscribe to me too. I went to the wrong spot. I'll get a link for you.
Yeah, but JD, so we're all pretty much hangers, but we always take suggestions and love input. Really, that's what we do. I think Diana's left me, right?
Yes. I said I referenced Contest of Champions.
Oh
yeah.
Which was an event prior to it was actually the very first Marvel event.
I'm still here. Sorry, I was talking to Larissa.
Hi.
Okay, I just know contact. I think I've heard of it, but I just know it more from the mobile video game.
Contest of Champions was
they got it from the original Contest of Champions storyline, which I forgot how many titles it ran through.
Yeah,
It
but
should
apparently it was not as big as Secret Wars. Secret Wars was
no.
a buster storyline.
That one should have ran through all titles though.
Yeah.
In my opinion, anyway. You're gonna have something like you're gonna have something like a contest of champions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like just a one-shot thing?
And
it was supposed to be an event, but it kind of read like a one-shot.
They did redo it as an event a couple years ago in Marvel, too.
I actually forgot about this.
Well, most people do.
Most people did.
Yeah,
for one reason and one reason only.
I was like, okay, I
so
kind of remember.
It didn't really have any A-list characters. It looked like.
Well, you got Hulk,
there's
Iron
Captain
Man,
America.
Man.
No, I mean,
Captain America, Daredevil, Iron Man, the Hulk,
well,
the X-Men,
Vision,
Alpha Flight.
Never mind.
Silver Surfer.
So I was just saying,
Doctor Strange.
This was a cheap attempt to boost some of the C and D list characters.
Well, there were some characters listed. I thought those were the only characters in the book. So I guess
it's hard to tell unless you open the book, but
right.
Yeah,
that's a lame thing to see on a live stream. Let me get rid of that. There we go. But yeah, I forgot about that book.
Go ahead, Chris.
I was just gonna say I forgot until I saw the cover, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, let's wrap it up because we're all just like sort of just
All right.
blabbing around and whatever.
All right.
I'm tired. I want to go to bed. I don't know about you guys.
All right.
I'm going.
You want me to turn on the exit show?
Yeah, turn on. Do you have an exit show?
You have an exit?
No, I don't.
What?
Yes, his exit show is the entrance show.
It just lasts for. I'm going to run it in half speed though, so it'll only last for 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm kidding. All right, so good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
We have friends here that have campaigns.
Good night.
Check out Canadian Shield 2.
Mm-hmm.
How do I say that, Rick? Plus more?
Well, it's Canadian Shield 2 and more.
Yes, in demand on Indiegogo. Melvin 2 is in demand on Indiegogo.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mangai Yoshokin is out for signups on Indiegogo.
Melvin 3 is in the box.
Right.
So yeah. Hey Mike Walters,
and
what's up,
Mike.
brother? Is your show still on? Because we're about to wrap up.
No, he ends around 10:30 now, so I think he might just have ended.
Oh,
I think he just ended.
Hey, thanks for sharing that link of yours, Rick.
I had it handy. I figured why not since you said something.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, I don't have the links handy. I'm too blurry-eyed. But yeah, we'll improve our production next show.
No, we won't.
Right, honey?
So, gentlemen and lady, I will see you Saturday. We will see you Saturday.
I will see you guys on Saturday. I'm super excited to be drawing with you all.
Good luck, Diana.
Godspeed.
Tim will be on Mike's tomorrow going over comics.
Yes, I will.
All right. If I am
You're
about
going over comics? Wait a minute. Is this like Evil Knievel? How many comics are you going over?
I don't know. I just kind of go on there and kind of give my opinion.
So it's like you're not riding a motorcycle. There's no car jumping. You're going to just go over it.
Sure. Yeah, and being that it's old comic books, no one should get offended by it.
Oh, everybody will get offended by it because it's old comics.
Of course.
Lots to be offended
that I'm a little offended you're risking that antique book reading it like that.
I will try to pop in and tomorrow night if I'm around.
Some may find this offensive.
I'm so offended.
Okay, lift it up so I can't be offended.
Oh, you mean right there?
Wow.
Good night, gentlemen. I am
Cheeky.
leaving.
Later, everyone.